Hello and welcome back to a speed build. It has been a very long time since I have been here. Just life, really. But I'm back and I'm trying really hard to get back into The Sims. For a while there, I did get sucked into Disney Dreamlight Valley. So, you know what it's like when we get a new game, we just go all in. So, I've kind of also been dabbling around in there. But I finally got the urge to come and do a build, and so I thought I would do just a small little cozy cafe with the business and hobbies pack, which I just downloaded. Yes, I know I'm a little behind in the times. That's kind of what happens when you take 12 months off, I guess, but I'm catching up. Um, so, yes, my small little coffee shop here. We are going with a white and sort of brown theme. I wanted it to look just a bit relaxed, a bit chill. So neutral colors. And here I am struggling with the roofing once again. Doesn't sound like me at all, does it? Um, yeah, I wanted some little garden beds here. So you can see I'm working on those. And I wanted this little outdoor area so that the Sims could sit outside. And here's the steps with the new step update. I was so pleased when I came back and saw that they had finally updated those stairs. I'm loving the ability to sort of round them out at the top and the bottom. That is just good on you, EA. Well done. Thanks for listening. Now, if we could have rounded stairs, like the option to make them round, and that would be perfect. I know you can sort of do it with the round walls, but it'd be nice to have like the spiral staircases still. So yeah, here's the roof issue. I knew what I wanted, but after 12 months off, I felt like a complete noob again. I had to relearn so many things. It was a little ridiculous, to be honest, but here we have it. The nice see-through roof, kind of like a beer garden effect, but coffee shop version. And I wanted to sort of put some plants on the top so it didn't look so sharp. I have not uploaded the tool mod. I kind of got into it a little bit towards the end there before I took the break, and I found it quite useful, mostly for building. That's all I really used it for, and that was the only mod that I used. And also the better build by, I think, debug menu sort of where you could filter through a bit easier. That was handy. So because I had gotten used to that, took a break and came back, I couldn't find anything. So my apologies when you can see I'm struggling through trying to find something. I think I will update it. I am, however, waiting until the new pack comes out, the Royalty and Legacy pack. Another nice surprise to come back to. I was quite pleased to see that one, especially after having been on Disney for a while. I have all these fresh ideas. I've already started to build a couple of castles, so you might want to go and check those out on the gallery. I decided to go for a bit of a purpley blue sort of theme to just give it a little bit of colour. And here's me trying to find the right window awnings. I decided on the white ones. I just felt they looked the best. I wanted it to be really green and lush, and so I spent a fair bit of time working on these garden beds just to get a little bit more colour in. And I also wanted the fairy lights as well, because I don't know about you, but just a nice Sunday sort of sesh vibe, which often comes with evening coffees and things. And I thought the fairy lights would be a good addition. Took me a while to decide on some, but I quite like how it looks. Just enough. Oh, excuse my psychotic dog barking at everything that walks past the house. Would you be quiet, please? Thank you. We have to sound the alert every time somebody so much as even dare walk past the front of the house. So, my apologies. So, here I am still trying to add in some greenery. Couldn't decide on any of them because there was just too many options. And I think in the end I changed my mind and I, as you'll see, put some bins out the back instead. I think I was trying to kind of combine the good old Australian Sunday sesh vibe at the pub with something a bit more low-key in a coffee shop, but I don't think we can call it a summer sesh much more. It kind of has to be done in spring now because summer is just ridiculously hot here. Like if those Sims were sitting outside under that glass roof that I've just built there in summer here, then they would roast. They would actually roast. I kid you not, I was in my car driving to work only a couple of weeks ago and my car told me it was 50 degrees Celsius outside. So that's like equal to 122 Fahrenheit, which is just insane. It was so hot. Anyway, so I think, yes, it'll have to be a spring sesh from now on if you want to go out and enjoy an area like this, Sims. Summer, too hot. I spent way too long trying to sort this garden out. But I think it turned out okay. It looks pretty nice. Just enough to give it a nice earthy vibe, but not too much that it's overbearing. I've added in a bit of a sign on the side. I had bunnies in my head for some reason. Don't ask me why. I think watching this back over, it was because I'd put those like A-frame signs out the front, and the only design that I liked had the little rabbit on it. So I just decided it was going to be like a rabbit themed cafe. I don't know. That's just how my brain operates. That's where I went. So bunny signs it was. I moved on to the inside. And I struggled a bit because obviously I've only just downloaded this pack, the business and hobbies pack. So I was kind of trying to filter through all of the new items as well as build at the same time. So I kept coming across things and I was like, oh, I don't know where to put it. I don't know. It just took me a while to work it out. And then I realized I hadn't built a toilet, so kind of had to add that in. And yeah, as you can see, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. I'm inside, I'm outside, I'm in the toilet, I'm back in the cafe. But I was just trying to get out all the objects whilst I could see them as I was filtering through. Here I am working on the bathroom, and I decided to put a change table in. Now that we have those sorts of things, like most places now, particularly here in Australia at a coffee shop, have a change table, because it's usually all the mums and bubs that are going for coffees and trying to pretend to socialise while chasing children left, right and centre and dealing with all the chaos that comes with tiny humans. So yes, a nice little change table in there for our smaller Sims. I still am struggling to put this area together. I put this little kiosk thing in. I don't really know what it does. I know that this wall here, I ended up putting an archway across it so that when you can allocate the spaces, when it is actually a functional business, that I could say that that was just for the staff. I couldn't do it without a wall. And I'm sure there's a workaround, and I'm sure somebody could possibly comment on this video and tell us what the workaround is. But it's not something that I've played around with yet. So that is one thing that you will notice is slightly different if you download this build. I knew there was a chalkboard. Took me a while to find it, but I wanted that oversized menu to be behind the counter. Oh, and that's the other thing I realized after I play tested this build, where I had the counter, for some reason, it must have been too close to the wall because my Sims couldn't use it. So I had to move it slightly forward and just rearrange that counter area just a little bit. I think I'm getting close to the end here. I remembered to put my ceilings on. Something else that I often forget now is that you can actually decorate the ceilings. So I remembered to do that. Went for a bit of a pattern just to break it up a little bit. And here on the patio area, I wanted to put in some live entertainment. It's quite popular in small cafes and areas like little bars and pubs and things like that here. So I thought the Sims could entertain each other while they're just relaxing, having their coffee, bit of ambience. I went through to find all the little decorations and just pulled them out. Sometimes I find that easier when I'm building, just to have it all out in front of me. As you can see, my little rabbit, because I wanted it to be a rabbit cafe. But when I started decorating, I didn't have enough space on the shelf and my little rabbit was just in the way. So I do end up moving him, as you'll see. Yeah, there he goes, gone. See ya. Had I had more time, I probably would have fussed around with it a bit more, but I was on a time constraint when I was doing this build. There's only so many hours in the day and only so many hours where the tiny humans are not here and I can actually build. So I was trying to keep it short and sweet. So I opted for just moving it out. And this almost brings us to the end. Thanks for joining me. There's the finished build and I will see you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed what you saw and you want to see more, make sure you subscribe and also click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on new content. You can also check me out on my socials.